5 nights ago, we just got done the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. Really good pay-per-view. Now we're on the brisk of another pay-per-view this coming Sunday on the WWE Network with Payback. Why do we have Payback this Sunday? I don't know. I don't know why we're getting a pay-per-view this Sunday, 1 week after SummerSlam. I find it totally unnecessary. But we are getting Payback on Sunday inside the Thunderdome on the WWE Network. We got 6 matches confirmed tonight after SmackDown. I can honestly say I'm happy I did this tonight instead of SmackDown, because outside of the last segment, this was a very boring edition of SmackDown tonight. But we're not even here to talk about SmackDown. We're here to talk about Payback 2020. So like I said, we got 6 matches confirmed right now for the show. We're going to go over all 6 of those matches happening on the Payback card. And this is your preview predictions video here on the Big Fight Field channel for Payback 2020. Thank you guys who are joining me in this video. I am Joseph Conlon, coming to you with your Payback preview predictions for 2020. Before we start the Payback 2020 preview and predictions, if you guys have not already, make sure you check out my SummerSlam review 5 nights ago. Like I said in the intro, check out the SummerSlam review. Check out this Monday's Raw review. Check out my Thunderdome experience this past Monday. Check out my NXT review on Wednesday night. And then last night's AEW review, just a few days before All Out, live on pay-per-view. So if you guys have not checked it already, excuse me, make sure you go check those 4 videos out on the channel. Let's get to Payback, man. We got 6 matches here. As SmackDown is over, these are the 6 matches confirmed for Sunday's Payback. We're going to start at the top of the card. For the Universal Championship, no holds barred match, we got Roman Reigns, who has the internet in a big buzz right now. We'll get to that in the main event. We'll talk about it. We got Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus the champion, The Fiend Bray Wyatt. No holds barred Universal Championship. That's more than likely going to main event the show. We got Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. We got a match made today, Seth Rollins and Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic. We just got that match on Monday. Why I would care about it on Sunday when we just got it on Monday, no idea. Who writes this shit? Why didn't we save this for Sunday? We had to do it on Monday. But we're getting that again at Payback. We got Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. We got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks and Bayley for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And the final match, the first match we're actually going to talk about here, so this leads right in perfectly. Baron Corbin versus Matt Riddle. And that's the first match we're going to talk about. It is Baron Corbin versus Matt Riddle. And I really don't have much to say about this. Matt Riddle, very special in NXT. The original bro was really over. Everybody loved Matt Riddle. He came up on SmackDown, and he feels like everybody else. He does not feel special. It's not must-see like he was in NXT. You want to know why? Because they put him in a feud with Baron Corbin in his first feud. When you put people in a feud with Baron Corbin, it brings them down a lot, and people do not care about Baron Corbin. The same thing happened to Roman Reigns when he was feuding with Baron Corbin. The same thing happened to Finn Balor when he was feuding with Baron Corbin. The same thing happened to Braun Strowman. Now it's happening to Matt Riddle. Baron Corbin literally brings everybody down. And it just shows that Baron Corbin sucks. Baron Corbin is not entertaining whatsoever. But we're getting this match on Sunday. I expect it to hopefully be a decent match. I expect this to start the show. And no way Matt Riddle loses this match, right? I mean, he's only been on SmackDown for 4 months. This is technically his first match. This is technically his first match on pay-per-view on the SmackDown roster. So, he can't lose. He can't lose to a guy like Baron Corbin. So, as for this match goes, I'm going Matt Riddle. Nothing much to say there. Let's move on. Let's move on to the United States Championship, where we got Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews, who is the champion. And I feel like this is probably the most predictable match on the card. Bobby Lashley is not losing. Apollo Crews can kiss that United States Championship goodbye. Once this feud started, we all knew that Apollo Crews was just keeping that championship warm for Bobby Lashley to take from him. And originally, I thought this was going to be at SummerSlam, but we're getting this Sunday at Payback. We got MVP at SummerSlam, no idea why, but they saved Bobby Lashley for Payback, and no way Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business do not walk out of Payback with the United States Championship. I expect this to hopefully be a good match, hopefully, but this is probably the most predictable outcome on the entire show. Bobby Lashley will be walking out your new United States Champion on Sunday. Got tag team match that I literally just brung up in the intro, that it happened on Monday, and we're getting it on Sunday again. We got Seth Rollins and Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Now, again, I have to say it again. If your plan all along after SummerSlam was to have this tag team match between the Mysterios, Seth Rollins and Murphy, why book the match on Monday and do a screwy finish with Retribution just to do this again on Sunday? It makes absolutely zero sense to me whatsoever, and it makes me not even care about the match. And that's how I kind of feel. I saw this on Sunday. I saw this on Monday. So when you do it again on Sunday, why do I care? And this is one of my favorite feuds in the WWE. And they announced on Monday, for this coming Monday, they announced it tonight on SmackDown, that on Monday's Raw, we're getting Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. Why? Why? We just saw that match at Extreme Rules. The only way I could really see that match playing out is if Rey Mysterio defeats Seth Rollins clean to finally put a stop to this feud between the Mysterios and Seth Rollins. But as for the tag team match, I'm going for Rey Mysterio and his son to get the victory. I probably am going to say that Dominic's going to pin Murphy. I don't think they're going to pin Rollins, because I think they're going to pin him on Monday night to Rey Mysterio. And after Monday night, this feud is going to die. This feud will end. The Mysterios will move on. Seth Rollins will move on. Where they go next, I don't know. I have to wait and see. Got the Women's Tag Team Championships. We got 3 more matches already. This is a very quick preview and predictions video here. We got the Women's Tag Team Championships. We got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now, this is a tough one. Obviously, I hate Nia Jax. Everybody hates Nia Jax. If you like Nia Jax, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. She's like Shayna Baszler said on SmackDown, she sucks. She actually sucks. Yeah, she does suck. She does suck. Shayna's right. And then WWE finally gave me a reason not to make me care about Shayna Baszler, because they put her in the tag team with Nia Jax of all people. If you're putting Shayna Baszler, who's a legit badass, on a tag team with Nia Jax, I think you're not going to make me care about Miss Baszler at all. So, randomly, they were feuding. Now they're a tag team. I have no idea why, but will they win the Women's Tag Team Championships on Sunday? I'm going to say no. No, they will not. I am going with Sasha Banks and Bayley to retain with this one. And some of you are probably asking, well, Joe, why are you saying Sasha and Bayley are going to retain? The obvious outcome is they lose the tag team titles. Sasha Banks is going to snap. She's going to beat up Bayley after the match, and they're going to feud over the SmackDown Women's Championship. The reason I think Sasha and Bayley are going to win is because, quite frankly, I don't think they should do the breakup at a Payback. That's a waste. Why would you do the breakup at a D-level pay-per-view that is literally a week after SummerSlam and is a pay-per-view that nobody gives a shit about? Why would you do the breakup at this show? That's a waste. That's a waste of time. It really is. So what I was thinking is Sasha and Bayley are going to retain the titles. They're going to squeak by Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. They're going to hold the women's tag team titles for a little while. And then they're going to lose the tag team titles, let's say, Hell in a Cell. At Hell in a Cell, they're going to lose the tag team titles to Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, which is a tag team that I think WWE should start building up right now as a credible tag team and legit threats that can actually take the tag team titles off of Sasha and Bayley. You start bringing them up, giving them wins, giving them credibility, giving them momentum, and then when the time strikes at Hell in a Cell, you have Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan take the women's tag team titles off of Sasha Banks and Bayley, and that'll get Ruby and Liv over a lot. That'll get Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan over a lot if that's what you do. And then we go into Survivor Series, and that's when I think the breakup should happen. Survivor Series, the breakup happens. Sasha Banks is going to snap on Bayley. She's going to lose it. Survivor Series is going to be the breakup of Sasha Banks and Bayley, not Payback. It's going to be Survivor Series. So, as for this match, like I said, because of that, I'm going with Sasha and Bayley to retain the women's tag team titles over Shayna and Nia Jax. We got Keith Lee versus Randy Orton. Now, WWE, they backed themselves up into a corner in this. They got themselves in a tricky situation. And they did this to themselves. We all know that Keith Lee's debut on Monday Night Raw was botched. It sucked. It looks like he wears a dress as his ring attire. He's wearing a vest. And he's got new theme music. And it's the most generic theme music you guys could ever think of. It sucks. There's a report that actually, about Keith Lee's theme music, I might as well bring this up now, that CFOs who wrote this song is not the company anymore, and WWE is trying to get talent to sign off on changing the theme music. And apparently Keith Lee was the one apparently Keith Lee was one of the guys who signed off. I find that complete bullshit. I find it complete bullshit that Keith Lee signed off. Proof, and I'll believe it. But for now, that story is absolutely bullshit. But anyway, back to the match. Keith Lee can't lose. Keith Lee just got up to the main roster. He just got here on Monday night, and you botched his debut. he can't lose. Randy Orton is clearly still feuding with the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre after he gave him 3 punts on Raw this past Monday, and you can't have him lose if you're going to have him challenge for the WWE Championship again down the line against Drew McIntyre. You can't have him lose. Plus, again, he's doing some great heel work. So, this isn't really a toss-up for me, but it's a tough one for WWE. But for me, this is very simple. I think Randy Orton's going to win this match, unfortunately. Keith Lee is going to lose in his first match, really. That match on Monday wasn't even really a match. That thing was 3 minutes, and it was a DQ finish. So, if you want to think about it, this is Keith Lee's first match. And unfortunately, I don't see Randy Orton losing. And Randy Orton should not be losing before he gets another shot at the WWE Championship. I just don't think it's happening. So, I'm going with Randy to beat Keith Lee on Sunday. And then we got the main event. The main event for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt. Clearly, this is the main event of the show, because they advertised the shit out of this on Monday, and they did the same thing again tonight. They advertised the shit out of this, and they centered SmackDown tonight really around this match only. This was the main subject of SmackDown tonight. Adam Pearce going around trying to get signatures from Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. Now, before tonight, I sat on this camera and told you guys that I think Bray Wyatt is retaining the Universal Championship, pinning Braun Strowman, protecting Roman Reigns, and then at Clash of Champions, we got Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship over the Fiend Bray Wyatt. But after the finish of SmackDown tonight was Adam Pearce trying to get the signature of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was on a couch reading the contract. He was reading the contract. He looked over to his right. He was like, "That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler." The camera pans in. Sitting right next to him is Paul Heyman. Yes, Paul Heyman, the manager of Brock Lesnar. Clearly, Brock Lesnar is not going to be there for a while. So what are they going to do with Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman says, "Believe that." He has an evil smile on his face, and Roman Reigns nods at him back. So clearly, Paul Heyman is the new manager of Roman Reigns, which I think is great. I think it's great. I think Roman Reigns needs something like this. I think the pairing makes sense. Roman is in desperate need for change. And it looks like Roman Reigns is finally a heel. Roman Reigns is finally a heel. And after tonight, and Paul Heyman sitting next to him saying, "Believe that," I don't think WWE is going to have Roman Reigns lose this match. As much as I want to see Bray Wyatt keep that Universal Championship, I think that WWE is going to take the title off of Bray, and they're going to put the Universal title on Roman Reigns with his new manager, Paul Heyman, and they're going to run SmackDown. So that's that. And what happens from there, I don't know. But we could be seeing Roman Reigns versus The Fiend. And with Roman Reigns now being a heel on SmackDown with Paul Heyman, tonight, you might as well kiss The Fiend goodbye. Because you would have given The Fiend a 1-week reign as the Universal Champion. And I don't know. He was destroyed in the Hell in a Cell. They buried him with Seth Rollins last year. And he really hasn't been the same since. The Fiend hasn't felt the same since Hell in a Cell of last year with Seth Rollins. So that was strike one. Goldberg, losing to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia for the Universal Championship. That was strike two. And this would be strike three. This would be strike three. So, once strike three hits on Sunday, because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. Roman Reigns is not losing. This will be strike three, and the Fiend would be over. He might as well retire. Bray Wyatt might as well retire after Sunday. Because I don't see him coming back after this. So that's my Payback 2020 predictions. Nice and short. Only 6 matches. If there's more matches announced for Payback, which I'm sure there will be, I will make sure to tweet out my predictions for you guys. But that is it for the Payback preview predictions here on the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching the Payback predictions video. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. We're 12 subs away, man. 12 subscribers away from 200. Very excited. If we could get to 200 subscribers next week, I would be thrilled. I would be absolutely thrilled by that. Comment down below. I want to know your predictions for Payback on Sunday. Who do you think is going to win the 6 matches? Like this video if you enjoyed my Payback predictions video. And follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I will see you guys Sunday night here for the Payback review right here on Big Fight Field. Have a good night. Stay safe.